صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير خلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير خلق كلهم.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Iram Rahil. I'm one of the family physicians in Scarborough. I am affiliated as a staff with the Scarborough Health Network and work as assistant professor at University of Toronto, Department of Family Medicine. So we have marked 1 year in this pandemic of COVID-19. This will be our second Ramadan with doing all the precautions to protect each other and to the community. The only light of tunnel besides continuing the precaution is the mass vaccination of the community. We have to end this deadly virus and from our community as well as from the rest of the world. And the only way we can do that successfully is to get more and more people vaccinated. That is why I would like to talk about getting yourself vaccinated with COVID-19 vaccine as soon as possible. So we all want to, so that we all can enjoy each other's company, we can go to a mosque for Eid and other prayers without any fear. I know people have a number of questions and uncertainties and hesitancy when it comes to these vaccines that are available currently. And it is very normal. It is a normal human reaction to be afraid. Fear is a real thing. Many people are scared and uncertain, and it's a normal human behavior. We all know, especially those who suffered from COVID illness or have seen their loved ones suffered and even died during this pandemic, would totally understand where I'm coming from. And they wish they would have not seen or have seen their loved ones suffered the way they suffered. And they understand the importance of vaccination. The information I'm going to provide you today is also available on Toronto Public Health website. Vaccines, why should we get vaccinated? Vaccine will help us protect against COVID-19, as you all know. They enhance the body's natural ability to fight infections. The pandemic will not end until the majority of the Canadians are immunized. So protect yourself, your loved ones, and your community by getting vaccinated. How it helps? It not only helps the individual from getting the severe illness, but also what we are trying to develop is called community immunity. We have to protect those who can't get vaccinated, like newborn babies and those with weak immune systems, like elderly people. The sooner the majority of Torontonians are vaccinated, the sooner our lives can return to normal. This is what we call as herd immunity, so that majority of the people get vaccinated and have enough antibodies to fight against this infection. When it comes to safety, that's what the major concern of many people are. So I can reassure you, Canada has one of the best vaccine safety programs. Vaccines must pass many safety tests before they are considered to be safe for people. Health Canada authorizes vaccines only when there is a sufficient scientific and clinical evidence that are safe, effective, and are manufactured to the highest quality standards. People also ask me whether these vaccines are effective or not. So I'll try to address some of these questions regarding safety, effectiveness, and some of the side effects as we go along. So I can reassure you, all vaccines work well to protect us from severe illness and hospitalizations from COVID-19. there is still a small risk that you may get a mild COVID-19 infection after vaccination. But you need to understand what is the purpose of vaccination. It is not giving you a cure of the COVID-19. It actually preventing you from getting very sick to the point where you have to be admitted to the hospital. It also protects you from getting the severe illness and death even. So more research is being done to understand how long the vaccine protection will last and whether a booster dose is needed in the future or not. So these data shows that all 4 vaccines that are currently available, they work really well in preventing serious illness requiring hospitalization and preventing serious illness resulting in death. So that's important to understand that all 4 vaccines work in the same way to achieve the net result of the that it protects you from severe illness and death. So a number of people and my patients ask why there is an extended duration between the 2 doses and how it is determined. So if you remember, initially when Pfizer vaccine came, the duration of the 2 doses were shorter as compared to now. Minimum of 16 weeks are advised in between the 2 doses. So as you know, 3 Health Canada approved vaccines require 2 doses. The Johnson & Johnson is the only vaccine which requires only 1 dose, which is currently not available in Ontario. It takes 2 weeks after getting vaccinated to be protected. So this is very important to understand. So when you get 1 vaccine dose, it is effective against getting seriously sick. That's a given, okay? So protection is 80% after the first dose of Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. So once you get first dose, you're 80% protected, but it takes about 2 weeks to get that protection level. Protection becomes 90% when the second dose is done. So it's only 10% difference increase after the second dose. At the same time, your protection will not suddenly go down. So that's also a very important point to understand, that in between the 2 doses, the dose level does not increase, the immunity level does not decrease suddenly. Extending the time between doses means that more and more people can get the vaccine so that we can save more lives. Some of the side effects. Let's talk about some of the side effects. Like any other medication, some people may have side effects from the vaccine. If these side effects happen, they usually last for about 1 to 3 days. Some of the common side effects are sore arm, headaches, feeling tired, muscle or joint pains, fever, and chills. But these are mild and they stay for 1 to 3 days. I would like to discuss here about AstraZeneca. And I know many of the pharmacies are currently offering AstraZeneca, and people have through social media a number of questions and queries, misconceptions about the side effects from AstraZeneca. Health Canada has been constantly reviewing the updated data from different countries regarding this particular vaccine. So after vaccination with AstraZeneca, there have been very rare reports of blood clots and low platelet counts. Platelets are those blood cells that helps the body stop bleeding. So these rare reports were mostly in women under the age of 55 that were reported in Europe. So far in Canada, no such side effects has been reported through AstraZeneca. The vaccine overall is still recommended for adults 55 years of age and older because the benefit is much greater than the possible risk. And we already talked about a number of these benefits before. Some people ask me, I had COVID illness, why should I get vaccine? So people with previous COVID illness should also get vaccine. And why? Because people who had previous illness and developed natural immunity from COVID-19 may not last long and may not protect against various COVID-19 variants now available and spreading in the community. So get vaccinated to stay protected. However, anyone with active COVID-19 symptoms like fever should not go to the vaccine clinic to get the vaccinated. Please wait for at least 10 days until you are no longer in self-isolation or your symptoms have gone away. Once they are gone away, you are okay to get vaccine. So who should get the vaccine as a priority? So currently, there are different priority lists that should be vaccinated first and has been vaccinating already. Seniors over 65, people with stable health conditions should get vaccinated too, like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, respiratory diseases like asthma or COPD, hepatitis B and C, and HIV. People with a weak immune system because of the illness or any medications that are on that can affect or weaken their immune system, or certain conditions like rheumatoid arthritis or other autoimmune conditions, what we call as. Talk to your doctor, what are those autoimmune conditions? They can also get vaccinated. But you should speak to their healthcare provider before you get vaccine. Other population that I would like to particularly address here is our pregnant women and breastfeeding moms. And the Society of Obstetrician and Gynecologists of Canada recommends vaccination for pregnant and breastfeeding women, as long as they don't have any medical conditions that prevent them from getting the vaccine. So speak to your doctor and make sure that you are also getting the vaccine as needed. So especially the new variants of COVID-19 can spread more easily and make people more sicker. And severe, and the vaccine is the only way that the severe illness can be prevented while you are pregnant. Getting COVID-19 while pregnancy may lead to an early or preterm labor or birth. So the other population that I would like to talk about is allergies and vaccination. Many people have this concept that since they have certain allergies to medications, chemicals, or seasonal allergies, they cannot get a COVID vaccine. That is not true. The vaccine contains an active ingredient that gives our body instructions to make antibodies. Okay. The other vaccine ingredients are fat, salts, sugars, and some buffers. So what are these? COVID-19 vaccines do not contain eggs, gelatin or pork, gluten, latex, preservatives, antibiotics, or aluminium. So they all are considered halal. Now, people with the allergies to any of the vaccine ingredients should not get the vaccine. So it's very, very important to understand that seasonal allergies does not qualify for you for not to get the vaccine. These are particular ingredients in the vaccine that you should be aware of. And if you have serious allergic reaction to those particular ingredients, then you should not get the vaccine. Also, if you get a serious reaction after your first dose, do not get the second dose and talk to your healthcare provider if you are unsure about what ingredients you are allergic to. Okay, so there are two ingredients I would like to address here. One is what we call as PEG, which is PEG is a short form, and the name is polyethylene glycol. It is present in the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine. So PEG can also be found in laxatives like stool softener that are available in the market, makeups, skincare products, personal lubricants, toothpaste, and some contact lenses. It is also in cough syrups, over-the-counter medications, and in some foods and drinks. So it is a common ingredient in many of these common products. So if you are okay to take these products, you certainly should be fine to take the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine. The other element I would like to talk about is the polysorbate 80. It is present in AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson's vaccine. It is used to hold or bind the vaccine ingredients together. Polysorbate 80 can be found in many processed foods, sauce, and soups, ice creams, chewing gums, soaps, creams, bath gels, shampoos, body butters, cosmetics, vitamins, heart medications, and etc. So if it is so commonly present and you can take any of these products, why not you vaccine? So please reassure your anxiety about allergies linked to any of these vaccine. If you're not sure, please talk to your doctor about it before you make a decision of not to get vaccinated. Also, a very important question, especially travelers ask me, and those who are planning to go for emergency trips, that can COVID-19 vaccine cause a positive test results for the disease, such as for the rapid test or antigen test that we do available here in assessment centers in Toronto. So according to WHO, the answer is no. The COVID-19 vaccine will not cause a positive test result for a COVID-19 PCR or antigen lab test. So this is because the tests check for active disease and not whether an individual is immune or not. However, because the COVID-19 vaccine prompts an immune response, it may be possible to test positive in an antibody test, which is actually not right now available. The one that we do before travel or at assessment center is the antigen test or a PCR test, which means to find out whether you have that illness or not. So that's important to understand. I would also like to address here, as Ramadan is approaching and our first Roza is tomorrow, is COVID-19 and Ramadan. Majority of the Muslim health leaders are encouraging their communities to continue to take vaccination as planned during the month of Ramadan. And according to majority of the Islamic scholars, agree that because the vaccine goes into your muscle rather than in your bloodstream, it is not nutritionist purposes. It does not amount to breaking the fast. So please do get vaccinated. At the end, which is the most important part of my talk today, is how you can get vaccinated. As of now, in Scarborough, Toronto, you can get vaccinated residents age 50 plus, born 1971 or earlier, through booked appointment only at 3 available sites. There are 3 different types of organizations that are offering the vaccine currently. One is through Toronto City Immunizations Clinic, and you can get the list of those sites through toronto.ca/public health COVID vaccine. The other area is through hospital immunization clinics, and their website is vaccine2.ca, so vaccine word to.ca. And they also has through two vaccination sites, as well as a number of community pop-up clinics that are offering vaccinations at this time. Third is the different pharmacies, and the list can be available on the Toronto Public Health website. While the vaccine will protect each of us individually, there are, as I said, the primary goal of the vaccine program is to immunize the majority of the community. There is another website, phone number that I would like to share with you here, which is the general public health booking line, which can be used for if you are unable to book online. It's 1-888-385-1910. At different mosques, we are trying to arrange a pop-up vaccine clinic, and Islamic Foundation of Toronto is one of the sites that we are looking into currently for offering vaccine clinic, but it is still under planning. And so tune yourself on their website for any of such updates. Jazakallah khair for listening. This is a war of a pandemic, and vaccine is one of the most powerful weapon which you can use to end this war. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is your brother in Islam, Yusuf Badat. I'm the Imam at the Islamic Foundation of Toronto, and I hope you are enjoying the programs brought to you by the Islamic Foundation of Toronto on radio 770 and EAWAZ.com. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you in this blessed month of Ramadan. May He accept our fasting, may He accept our deeds and our worship, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the best in this world and the hereafter. As you know, the Islamic Foundation of Toronto is a beacon in our communities and our societies, and the masjid has played a major role in keeping our identity alive and serving the religious, the spiritual, and the community needs here at the Islamic Foundation of Toronto. Many of our nikahs and our funerals have taken place here. Many of your children and your offspring have gone through the school here, and the madrasa, the evening madrasa, the weekend school, as well as many communities across Toronto, including the Christian, the Jewish, and the Hindu, etc. communities who have participated in the interfaith programs here, and also the relief that has been provided to those who are needy in the community. They've all taken place through the masjid here at the Islamic Foundation of Toronto. This is not a one-man show. This is not my efforts. This is not one person's efforts. This is a teamwork of every one of us in the community. And this is how masajid are sustained. And if we all do our part, then we will all have the great share of supporting the masjid and maintaining these great services. I know it's a difficult circumstance and a situation right now with the COVID-19. We are restricted to our homes. Many of us have reduced hours at work. Some of us have been laid off. So these are, inshallah, temporary challenges. And we know as Muslims, every challenge comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the test will sooner or later be removed. But the masjid needs to be maintained. Bills need to be paid. These services need to be continued, albeit online and through various volunteer programs. where the meals are being provided to the needy, and the various services that are taking place, the upgrades in the masjid, etc. The yearly expenses for the Islamic Foundation of Toronto, with all its services and its staff and all the bills for water, hydro, all of these things, is $600,000. And every year we do a fundraising in the blessed month of Ramadan. But this Ramadan is unique. We don't have the presence of the congregation, so we are appealing to each and every one of you to kindly donate, to give in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, contribute in large and small amounts. See the number on the screen. Visit the Islamic Foundation website, islamicfoundation.ca, www.islamicfoundation.ca. Click the donate button and contribute whatever you can in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we have been saying over the days, that the minimum that we all should do for the masjid is join the $1 a day campaign. And there's actually an interesting point that is made in Tafsir Madarik al-Tanzil, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran describes one of the qualities of the believers, al-munfiqeen. The believers are those who spend generously. So the question that the Imam of Tafsir Madarik al-Tanzil puts here is, how do we become amongst those who are generous? How do we become amongst those who are munfiqeen? How much do we need to spend that Allah will classify us amongst the munfiqeen, amongst those who generously spend for Allah's sake? Does it have to be once a week? Does it have to be twice a week? Does it have to be once a month? So the scholar writes in Madarik al-Tanzil, in the tafsir, that even if we give a small amount every single day, it's spending in Allah's cause, and we will be listed amongst the munfiqeen. Imagine on the day of judgment being resurrected and being uplifted with this title, that this is a person who is munfiqeen. This is a person who was generous for Allah's sake and the services related to the masjid and fi sabilillah. So this is a month to give. أجود الناس وأجود ما يكون في رمضان. The Prophet ﷺ was extremely generous in the blessed month of Ramadan. So we have an opportunity. Please give, donate generously, contribute. Every family member in your household, encourage them to be part of this and join the $1 a day campaign. You can go directly online at islamicfoundation.ca, click the donate button and contribute, be part of this. The management is telling me that if we have 1,600 individuals who join the $1 a day campaign, then we could easily come up with the $600,000 for the year, all the expenses regarding the year and all the projects and all the services that need to continue throughout the year with your generous contributions. You have always given, and we come back to you that you give in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the highlights of the Muslims is that we are generous. We give zakat, we give khairat, we give sadaqat, we help the poor, we help the needy. There was an article I read in the Independent, the UK Independent, and in there was a research and a survey done as to which religious community and faith community gives the most. And it came to a conclusion that it's the Muslim community. It's you brothers and sisters who constantly give in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So continue this great quality. And as we know, it's the promise of the Lord. It's the promise of our Creator and our Maker, who has given us everything. He says, وَمَا أَنفَقْتُم مِّن شَيْءٍ فَهُوَ يُخْلِفُهُ. Whatever you give in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will return that to you. And Allah is not like us, that we only return the amount that we've borrowed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises He will return tenfold, 700-fold. Wallahu yudha'ifu liman yasha. And in some instances, if we've really sacrificed and struggled in giving for the sake of Allah, then Allah will give us endless amounts. There's no limit in the treasures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As-sadaqatu tutfi'u ghadab ar-Rabb. Right now we are going through tremendous challenges with the COVID-19, and one of the methods to get out of this type of challenge is to give generously in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The hadith that I quoted, the Prophet ﷺ said, charity, it reduces the anger and the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we know that this is a test, and one perspective is that we've made Allah upset, and that's why Allah has put us in a corner. When a child doesn't behave, we put the child in the corner. That they need to reflect, they need to think about what they did, and when they're ready, they're taken out from the corner. So similarly, perhaps we have not done what we were supposed to, and we are now all put in corners where we're isolated from one another. We cannot travel, we cannot engage in doing things that we were used to. So it's a temporary restraint, and this is a time to reflect. And one of the main things that we can reflect upon is that how can I please my Creator? How can I please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? By worshiping Him, by following His commands, and by supporting anything that is related to the deen, anything that is related to Islam and the masjid. Your masjid, the Islamic Foundation of Toronto, Nugget Masjid, needs you at this particular hour. And if you help Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help you. If you take care of the masjid, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of you. So give in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, call the hotlines, visit islamicfoundation.ca, click the donate button, and give in large and small amounts. And as I have been saying, all of us should be part of the $1 of the day campaign. May Allah bless all of you. May Allah reward your charity and accept your good deeds. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to complete the month of Ramadan with tremendous fervor, excitement, and accepted worship. And may Allah accept our du'as. And may Allah relieve the entire ummah of this difficulty, of this pandemic. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us shifa, healing, treatment. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless entire global community, the international community, with peace and prosperity, with guidance and success. Jazakumullahu khairan. This is your brother Yusuf Badat from the Islamic Foundation of Toronto. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير خلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير خلق كلهم.